afternoon. Welcome to It's Your City. I'm Kenny Furlong, the sheriff. And I appreciate this opportunity to speak with you, kind of give you a recap of last year and what's going on right now in our community. We do have lots of things happening and want to keep this town informed. Number one, let's go back to last year. The crime occurrence rates are pretty much all in, and we wait for the state to flush them out, and that's what provides us with our community crime rates. And it's interesting because in 2013, what we saw was a dramatic decline or a reach of a low for the last 20 years of crime occurrence rates here in Carson City. That's a very, very positive indicator of how we're doing. It's established all the way across the country. You can go to just about any city and look for what's called a uniform crime reporting, and how does your community fare with others, and kind of get a comparison. 2014 was a very, very good year, and it equaled 2013. What that tells you is that for the last couple of years, we've been on a very good run here in this community. People reporting suspicious activity, people getting information to law enforcement, and our war on drugs is having a very positive effect. Not to mention those activities that we place on our gang enforcement in our Tri-County region. It was back in roughly 2012, when we kind of reduced the barriers or our geographical boundaries, and we said we're going to go after gangs no matter where they're at. And Sheriff Perini, Sheriff Allen Vale, which has been preceded by Sheriff McNeil now in Lyon County, we've realized that those geographical boundaries don't apply to the bad guys, so we had to change our tactics, and it's been working very, very well. As a result, 2013, 2014, great years in Carson City, and we want to see those trends continue. Those factors that have had the biggest impact, and I put it out in the press kind of humorously, we still have that problem of people wanting to hit each other. Simple batteries and aggravated batteries tend to take the greatest majority of the crime here in Carson City. So we look very closely at our bars scenes to control those atmospheres, and those businesses are doing very well. But we also recognize much of the battery type activity is actually occurring in our residential areas. And that's very difficult for law enforcement to proactively challenge. Instead, we're most often out responding to those incidents. You've heard a lot over the last couple of months about pedestrian and vehicle accidents. It's interesting because while our accident rates are relatively low, as we look at the last 10-year scheme, a continuous decline in motor vehicle accidents and pedestrian accidents, that doesn't help if you get struck in a crosswalk today. So we have really placed a lot of emphasis on vehicle drivers being alert to folks in the crosswalks. We've been doing an awful lot of enforcement activity in our primary artery areas, Highway 50 and Carson Street, where we have a lot of people crossing the streets. But I want to take it to the next level. You know, you can be absolutely right when you cross a street within the crosswalk, but I tell you what, if you get hit by a car, being right's not going to make those injuries feel any better. It really requires pedestrians to take on a little bit of that responsibility or ownership and make sure that they are safe when they're crossing the streets. One of the best tidbits or advice informations that I've seen go out is for pedestrians to actually look at the drivers. Remember, if that driver's not looking at you and you're not looking at them, then the chances are you're in a very, very deadly zone. We see this over on Solomon Street at Highway 50. We see this in our downtown corridors. When you step out into the street, take that moment, look at those vehicles that are approaching. If those vehicles don't appear to be looking at you, in other words, if you're not making that eye contact, you're in trouble, and you need to take that pause step to make sure that you can cross that street safely. It is bicyclists entering the crosswalks. It is inattentive drivers. all of the factors that cause for danger or that created danger in our crosswalk areas and crossing streets has been factors in so many of our incidents. We are attacking it very heavily. Today we're talking about educating you as a driver, be very attentive, and as a pedestrian, own some of that responsibility to make sure that you get across the street very safely. We don't want anybody killed in Carson City trying to cross a street. The way we combat it is to reduce the amount of accidents here that don't cause that most severe injury. But it's a continuous process, and I hope that everybody will join in with me. I know that the city they have taken out some crosswalks, trying to move traffic or foot traffic into more safe areas. So let's all do our parts when we're driving through our town, and make sure that everybody gets to wherever they're going safely. Next subject I want to talk to you about is one that is most current. We are seeing over the last several months a trend of residential burglaries. This is very, very significant to us. We are working very diligently with all of our law enforcement agencies in the area. We have experienced a number of burglaries of residences over the last several months that are causing alarm to the sheriff's office. The reason is, it appears to be that many of our homes that have been burglarized, it's taken on a suggestion that somebody is watching the house, waiting for the occupant, the resident, to leave, and then immediately going in and ransacking the home. Usually taking valuables such as jewelry, weapons, coins, and some electronic gears. But it's happening very, very quick. And I want to give you two examples. Just this weekend, a elderly female in the south end of town off of Edmonds, or on Edmonds, went for a walk. She was gone no more than 45 minutes. When she returned, her house had been burglarized. As our officers were investigating and speaking to people in the neighborhood, one neighbor suggested that in the days preceding, there was a person out that appeared to be taking a weed eater to the sides of the roads, and it just didn't look right. When the neighbor confronted the person, that person immediately left the area. Unfortunately, we didn't get a license plate or really good descriptions. That's the information that we want. Good descriptions, license plates. When you see something that just doesn't look right in your neighborhood, we want a phone call. We want our dispatch division to be able to get patrol officers into that area. You don't need to confront these folks. Whether it looks like they're utility workers with an orange vest or someone just sitting in a car, you don't need to confront them. We will do that for you. Your challenge is to get that information to us as rapidly as possible so that we can get someone into that area. And folks, I'm telling you right now, all of our patrol division is right at the edge, ready to respond into your neighborhood. We're talking about the west side. We're talking about down south Carson. We're talking out east. There has virtually been no safe zone. But it is very apparent to me that someone is taking the time to surveil these areas, know when the person is leaving, gets into the house quickly, makes their snatch, and gets out. Very difficult for patrol officers with the black and white vehicles to get into that area and catch someone. But you, as a resident, you know better. You know what's right, and you know what's a little suspicious in your neighborhood. So we're asking everyone. We really do want to have another great year in crime in Carson City, but we're asking this community to become a village, become very, very aware of their surroundings, because we want to catch these people. There have been several incidents. We are out very aggressively on the streets. We are stopping people, but if you're jogging, watch out. If you're home in the daytime, watch out. The other feature that I wanted to highlight on is to give you an idea of what is most common. Most common right now today is in the late afternoon hours. Call it between 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock, when just before most people are coming home. Those are the optimum periods when these residences are being broken into. And I'm asking for your assistance. I would like to see us be able to get these people. We have caught some, and we continue to pursue those. But this is an ongoing trend. As I sit here today and discuss this with you, it was just 2 days ago was our last one. And the young lady, or senior citizen, if you will, she lost quite a bit of jewelry that was very, very near and dear to her from her passed away husband, the wedding rings and so on. We don't want you to lose those items. Okay? We want you to, when you walk out of your homes, take one moment and look left, look right, just as if you're crossing the street. Does anything look unusual? As you're sitting on your porches, visiting with your neighbors, look left and look right. Does anything look unusual? We would like your assistance. Secret Witness is offering a reward for anyone that provides information that's going to lead to the arrest of these people that are doing this. They are offering a $1,500 reward. They can be reached at 322-4900. That's 322-4900. I want to make 2015 an even better year than 2014. And the way we're going to accomplish that is with you. Please do not hesitate. There is no call, there is no suspicious activity that's too small for us. I've briefed my folks, our dispatchers are prepared, and we will respond to you. I would like to reiterate one last thing. There is no reason that you need to confront these people. It is an unpredictable environment, and I don't want to see anybody hurt. When you see these unusual activities, please call us and allow officers to make that contact. If for any reason you receive a knock on the door, or you come home and you end up confronting somebody, please ask them for their identification. Be sure who you're talking to. We have had an incident where that contact was made, and after a prolonged conversation, the two people, a male and a female, fled the area very, very fast. Ask them for identification if you are confronted, or if they arrive at your door, ring the doorbell unexpected. But don't feel obligated. Please feel obligated to pick up that phone, get us a license plate, get us a good description, get us into the area, and we will take care of business for you. That I promise. I appreciate this opportunity to speak with you folks today. 2013, 2014 have been wonderful years for Carson City, and we're seeing the progress of our businesses growing, our community coming back together after the economy just virtually wiped everybody out. And I want to see us grow in a continuous motion towards a better, more safe, better environment to live, retire, raise children, and open up businesses and pursue your dreams. We're a partner with you. Please task us, call us, and make us be your best friend. Thank you very, very much for having me here today. I appreciate it. And at the end, I would like to close it with this one last time. Remember our dispatch telephone number, 887-2014. Thank you very much for having me here today.